Come, ye children, near and far, hearken here near my guitar. One and all, you are so dear. Strange and tangled tales to hear. A Sophie song I had once promised. Song for Sophie, I call it. I am a mere apprentice of the guitar, yet I can make her sing. Song for Sophie, I don't remember, yet hearken near. I have another slender little song of time. It's called The Ballad of Lester Moore. A cowboy he was, Lester Moore. In Arizona, he drove through, or tried, but they plucked his hide. His tombstone still reads, "Here lies Lester Moore. 4 slugs from a 44. No less, no more." It's a bad joke or a poem, depending on how you want to take it. I prefer as a poem, because heck, death can be grim and reap, but it can also be a happy passage into a better place, which was what I hoped for Lester Moore. I had written once a ballad for Lester Moore, but the scroll I have misplaced and cannot find anymore. My grandfather dear, his name was George, and he did really enjoy music. He bought 2 organ pieces, but always used to hire external music players to play. But I have role-played another tale. I call it Soul of Sword, and it's for a girl, because I am a poet true. By the organization of Diotima and the Muses, but that's another tale. Diotima, she was a female who spoke some words to Socrates, or so the scrolls say, and they were about the only things that were of value in this great work that is called the Symposium, which is good Greek, ancient and modern, for drinking together with other people. Otherwise, it would have been a lolly slop and a flop of history if it wasn't for Diotima's words. And her words were about love. But I don't use the word too much myself, because these days we use it so much that it loses all meaning. Love. Love, 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 love. I'm sick of hearing it. How many times have I heard "I will love you forever," and wonder what exactly that love is? By girls near and far, I like girls, and yes, and I serve. I am a mere servant, a poet, soul of sword. Close your eyes and imagine, if you will, with me, a young soldier, a lieutenant. Lieutenant is an officer, and that's good French for somebody who covers land or is in charge of land. Lieutenant. Rolling through poppy fields singing, I am just gathering flowers for my dear, please bother me not. The young lieutenant, let's say his name is Louis. That's just a little mind game on Lieutenant Louis. Is summoned up by his daimyo, so I'm placing this story in ancient Japan. Daimyo is a leader of sorts. Into a grotto or a cave, wherein which he receives the command, 3 woman souls by dawn. And being that it was winter, he strolled along and started singing to keep his chest warm. Living or dead was he thinking, but he was singing something different. Please bother me not. I gather flowers was the song. And so I hear there is an ancient song of China. Oh, please bother me not. I am gathering flowers for the girl I love. Then he hears an echo behind him of other soldiers that were to follow. They were appointed by the daimyo, obviously, to follow him on horse. And off in search of said female did the young Louis go, not understanding the commands, but fixing to obey if he could or would, and thinking of a poem he had heard of old called Crane and Hawk. And I will recite that. Crane and hawk perch then fly, the winged child god flutters after them evermore, by and by. This I composed myself for, well, 2 girls in Wellington, Sweet Welly. She is my sister's city. My ties to Welly are deeper than my blood. And there goes the little blah I had put up. Library of sorts. And it was as if the Louis was hearing echoes from afar. Ha ha and ha ha ha, young maidens laughing. And despite all the happy merry singing that he was doing, he started feeling cold. And he exclaimed, "Arg, they must be here." For he was not a fool. He knew that the daimyo would have had contacts in order to help him proceed. Here I forget one little detail, that he was given a sword to present upon the contacts. Well, the sword was bigger than a potato knife, but smaller than a katana. Any male of the species could have proudly worn it as his second arm, because back in the day in Japan, for whatever reason, according to Master Musashi Miyamoto, Musashi no Kami, Fujiwara no Gensen, all the warriors in the land held 2 blades. And this tale is about the soul of the blade. And he heard from some bushes that were right next to him and his horse, "Yes, we are here for you." A cough was heard at a short distance. There seemed to be maidens playing about in the bush, the brush. And they continued, "And we do not need your stink blade." Then a cough was heard. Stink blade. Oh, that's a good one. I'll keep that for later. Maybe this soul was forged by the ashes of the dying. Stink blade. Ha 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 ha. The young Lieutenant Louis thought, into the sea I look, and I behold your eyes. And that was a special thought for his special girl. I have a picture of my special girl right here. You might not have noticed. It's right here in the background. I call her Simur these days. Simur. It's a breath of desert air freshening your existence. By a well in the middle of a desert. Simun. Simun, I've come to believe in Arabic, is harsh, violent winds. And that's what I feel every time I look into my heart for my dear true love of my soul. The lieutenant seemed to fall asleep, and when he woke up, his sword had disappeared, or was buried in the snow near him, and he received little bottles and a parchment that read, "Thus, the account is closed." And how this story continues is a matter of lore which has not been defined yet. I hope I have entertained you with stories and, well, my attempt at music. Peace and love is what I wish unto the world, yes. And I do not wish it all too often, especially the latter part, but peace, yes. I am not a hippie. I'm a former soldier myself. I couldn't be too hippie-ish. Peace.